Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are continuing our series of Power Apps interview questions and answers 2025 edition. If you haven't seen the previous video, make sure to check them out in the playlist linked below. Let's dive right into the next set of questions to help you ace your Power Apps interview questions. Question number 11. What are components in Power Apps? So, the components are reusable UI elements that can be used across multiple screens or apps, helping maintain consistency and reduce duplication. So the main keyword in this answer is reusable components. Okay. Question number 12. What is a gallery control used for in Power Apps? So the gallery control is used to display a list or collection of items like records from a data source. It is commonly used to create scrollable list or grid of information. Okay. Question number 13. How does Power Apps handle version control? So the Power App stores versions automatically. We can view and restore previous versions from the app settings under the versions tab, but it lacks full Git style versioning at the moment. The Git style versioning is not available in the Power Apps. In preview feature, they have come up with Git connectivity in the Power Apps, but somehow that is not working as expected and they stopped that particular experimental feature. So at the moment, we only have the versions, but that Git style versioning is still missing in the Power Apps. Question number 14. What is a collection in Power Apps? So to answer this question, you can say collection is a temporary in-memory table that stores data locally during an app session. It is useful for caching, offline mode, or bulk operations. So in this particular answer, the temporary in memory, that is one of the keyword. It is stored locally during the app session, that is another keyword, and it is where it is useful. It is useful in caching the application to support an offline mode of the application, or if you want to perform any bulk operation like bulk update or bulk patch save, that can be used. Question number 15. Explain the use of context variable in Power Apps. So a context variable, also known as update context, or the context variable that is known as update context, are used to store temporary data at the screen level. So that is like local variable, you can say. It is ideally for navigating and passing values between screens. So whatever we are having as in context, we can use it to pass values between the screens as well. Question number 16. How do you create a custom connector in Power Apps? So this is one of the important questions that can be asked to you as an advanced level of thing, but still I'm covering it here. So we can create a custom connector from the Power Platform using an OpenAI definition, Postman collection, or by manually creating that. The custom connector is used to connect Power Apps to REST APIs. So any of the APIs that are created for that custom connector can be utilized into the Power Apps that are not built in or not supported by any of the connectors, existing connectors. So we can create our own connector for those REST APIs. Okay. Question number 17. What is a portal in Power Apps and who is it for? So in earlier days, the Power Portal is the Power Pages. It is been now called nowadays, but in earlier days it is called as Power Portals. will let us create external facing websites that interact with Dataverse. This is very important in terms of Power Pages. So we can create external facing website like anonymous users or users who are not part of our organization or they are not having the license to work with our Power Apps can also interact with our Dataverse data using this external facing website. Those are built using the Power Pages. These Power Pages are ideal for partners, customers, or vendors who needs access to your data. So basically, as I said, like if our vendor or partner or customers do not have any login credentials in our organization, but still if you want to let them interact with our data using data of the database, we can create the Power Pages or Power Portal so that they can do that or access the data and interact with it. Question number 18. How do you trigger a flow from Power Apps? Okay, so it is very simple process to trigger a flow in the Power Apps. We can use a Power Automate button in Power Apps and calling it on select is equals to flow name dot run. And the parameters, if there are any parameters to be passed to inside of a Power Automate flow that we can pass on. For example, let's say there is one screen, it is having one button onto it, right? And on select property of that button, I can utilize this syntax of flow name, whatever name of my flow, and dot run and passing all the parameters that are available inside my Power Automate flow, and my flow will be called. But there is one condition is both the Power Automate and Power Apps needs to be in same environment. Okay, so the Power Automate flow and the Power Apps needs to be in the same environment. Otherwise, you will not have this flow name available when you are trying to perform this action. Question number 19. What are environment variables in Power App? So, the environment variables store configuration settings like URLs or default values which are used inside our solution for portability across environment. For example, there is one URL that needs to be accessed for database for let's say a SharePoint as a dev environment. We can put that in the environment variable for URL. For dev that is different, for QA that is different, and fraud that is different. But if we want create one environment variable for this particular URL, we only have to change that URL in the environment variable. We don't have to go and change that particular thing in all the places where it is, wherever it is used in our Power Apps. But we can have three different variables for that as we need. Okay. Question number 20. How can you share a Power App securely? So to share a Power App with any of the users or person, we can do that using Power Apps portal. Go and assign them appropriate permissions, like they can be an owner, co-author, or system customizer roles or different type of roles we can assign to them, or we can limit an access of the user. Let's say some of the data can only be accessed by some of the users but not all the users. So that can be, in that way we can share Power App to different persons. Okay, and we can also use the security roles or connection references for that purpose as well. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the channel for more content on Power Apps and Microsoft 365. Drop your questions in the comments and I will try to cover them in future videos. See you in the next one and good luck with your interviews.